On my mama. I mean, on everything. On Hood, on Hotep, on my baby, on my mama. No one wants this. We did not. I think it's time to evoke the once great fall off of our lifetime, Kanye West, when he was one of the funnest Twitter follows, to which he eloquently told us how he felt about when he falls asleep flying and he wakes up with a water bottle. And he's like, I hate it when I fall asleep on a flight and then I wake up with a water bottle. Like, now I'm responsible for this water bottle. Bombing Iran is the I'm responsible for this water bottle of wars. Hood politics, y'all. Y'all, so apparently we all woke up to the fact that apparently we done jumped in. So to catch y'all up, I'm pretty sure you know already, but up until a few days ago, Israel and Iran was about to catch a fair one. It is what it is. Now, their history is one that only adjacent affects us. But essentially, Iran was the muscle behind most of the resistance, some would call terrorists, others would call organizations in the Middle East, whether it was Hezbollah, whether it was the Houthis, whether it was Hamas. They were the power, right? Iran has desired for a long time to be the strength of that area. Iran is a very difficult country to defend, not because of Iranians. This is the bedrock of civilization. It is quite literally one of the oldest standing cities on earth. Iran is, unless you're talking about Ethiopia, like the pits of Africa. It's pretty undeniably important to humans. Anyway, the Islamic regime over there. Remember, those the people that killed the young lady, put her in jail, and then killed her over her not wearing her hijab, right? So don't get us wrong. There are no good guys in this. But Israel decided they was feeling real froggy after they took out the leader of Hezbollah. Israel been feeling themselves because they've been on, let's be real, they've been on a winning streak. Israel has, they really ain't been taking L's for a while. They had that one scuffle in October 7th, and I am not trying to minimize the trauma that those people went through. I'm just trying to talk in comparison. I heard a good explanation about the difference between climate and weather. And I feel like this is a good way to lead into this. Your weather is your outfit, and the climate is the closet. That's your whole wardrobe. So if somebody talking about there's no climate change, it's hot outside. Okay, why is it so cold right now? The weather is the outfit you're wearing right now, and the climate is the whole closet. Anyway, not to say that the atrocities of what happened on October 7th, or the fact that since Israel, as a modern nation state, has never not been attacked by the countries around them because don't nobody want them there. They really don't be taking L's. Like, let's for a country that small, that only been around, that's a country that's younger than my parents, they be winning these wars. So while committing horrible atrocities and ethnic cleansing in Gaza, they decided they was going to take out Hezbollah, and they decided that it's time to deal with Iran. So they went into open war with Iran. Now we got real nervous because you got to remember, like, according to our governments, them is our homies. We supposed to have they back. They was like, we getting down. Your enemy is my enemy. Now listen, it's a situation here that really reminds me of like the hood politics situation where you sitting on the porch with the homies, and then somebody come running around the corner fast as he can and out of breath, and we like, yo, what's going on? Like, man, I just got in fighting with them dudes over there. Let's go do it. And you like, wait, hold up. We need to all go fight over there? Like, what? Nigga, what happened? This nigga was like, oh, man, I was trying to smash his sister. And then he got mad. Well, it's like, nigga, that sound like a you. We got to jump in. That's between y'all. Like, I don't know. Oh, man, I broke into his house last week. I stole a little money. Now he trying to get his get back. Come on, that's the enemy. My nigga, like, okay, I don't like them dudes over there, but like, I feel like this a you problem. We supposed to be boys though. Look, if he whoop my ass, he gonna come whoop your ass later. I mean, true, but he don't want it with us. We got them things. But I see that you have an issue, and I got you. So Israel for the last couple days was like handling things. Now, little did we know, which we should have known, that Trump and them was already planning to jump in. The question was, how was we going to jump in? Now, what Israel had requested was these bunker busters, which are these bombs that can, because again, we got them things. These bombs that can go all the way into the ground. They could pierce the ground further into, like, if you got like a little underground sort of situations, we could go in there and our bombs can blow them up. Israel was asking for those. Now, why Israel was asking for those? Because Israel pulled a George Bush. Now, I'm going to get into all this a little later, but I'm just giving an overview first. They said, them niggas finna have nukes. They got nukes. They finna have nukes. And the regime is bad. You see how these are three different answers? We're going to get into why this is so bushy in a little bit. But that's what he was saying. Them niggas got nukes, or them niggas is finna make nukes. We can't let them have nukes. Now, the obvious question is, okay, you attacking them because they got nukes. You like, Russia got nukes. Why you not attacking them? And they like, are you crazy, nigga? They got nukes. I'm confused, fam. Anyway, the goal was to stop them from getting nukes because they was making nukes. Now, this should sound even more weird to you because we had already had a deal with Iran for them to not make nukes. Obama did it in 2015. The only problem was Trump ain't like that deal. They were still making uranium. We're going to get into that a little later either. Either way, the thought was, out Netanyahu's mouth, we need to destroy their nuclear capabilities. Now, for the U.S. to get involved into something, you got to talk to Congress, right? We could sell your weapons. We may have bases already there, but for you to release active military or even military grade weapons, you got to, like, this is Congress. You can't just be doing this. You got to tell the American people. Now, that being said, I get the logic of saying, well, if we tell the American people, don't you think they listening to us? What if we want to surprise them? I understand that. Then you go to Congress and you get approval. We don't see everything Congress does. Either way, the point is, you can't just willy-nilly send our troops over there. You can't just do this. Now, why we was involved in anyway, one is that's the big homie. And two, remember, Trump's trying to make a deal with Iran over their nuclear proliferation. Iran's not budging because they don't really like the deal. I'm going to get into the deal a little later. But eventually, Trump was like, all right, that's it, cuz I'm tired of dealing with y'all. So while the rest of us was fighting ICE, while the rest of us was trying to figure out what the hell was in the big, beautiful bill act, trying to figure out how we was going to pay for me mom's insulin because you finna ruin that, this nigga flew planes over 3 nuclear facilities and blew them shits up. Like we did it. But what our president told us was give him 2 weeks to decide. But I just remembered, as he say that all the time, I'm planning probably like 2 or 3 weeks. I decide if we're going to get into it already. This nigga already had approved this. So we took our bunker busting bombs, flew them into Iran, dropped them mugs on the nuclear facilities with apparently no thought as to where the radiation was going to go. Because again, these are not good men. But he just went over there. It's like you going over there when your homeboy come around the corner and he say, this is our problem now. You just go over there with the 12 gauge. Pop, pop. All right, are we good? I don't want to have to bring all the goons over here. I just feel like maybe this nigga will chill when he see that I'm crazy. Okay? Is this good enough for you? Was I a good friend? Can I go back home? That's what Trump is presenting to us. I just wanted to go over there, show them that I wasn't playing, tell them niggas come back to the table, and we can move on from there. Now, you ready to make this nuclear deal or what? Since I destroyed all your abilities to make nukes. We woke up with that. Like, I did no idea that this was happening, and that's what happened. So, today, let's back up. Okay? Let's talk about some of the timeline, the insisting, the original nuclear deal with Iran, Trump's attitude about it, the public response, Iran's response, how Israel feels, and why this is so important to us. And why this is so bushy. It just smells like 2008. Like it's just so bushy. All right, so President Trump ran a long time ago, the first time, with the insisting that one of the dumbest things that Obama did, and a way for him to cheat to get a third term, because again, there's a tweet for everything, was setting up this Iran nuclear deal. Now, in the Iran nuclear deal, you can read on PolitiFact, which I really enjoy because like it'll lay out a couple different versions of the story and what these people are saying, what these people are saying. It really helps when I'm making this pod, right? Who blaming who? So I'm going to read this. The agreement that was formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was signed in 2015 by the United States and Iran, as well as China, Russia, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Under this deal, Iran agreed not to pursue nuclear weapons and to allow continuous monitoring and compliance in exchange for relief of economic sanctions. Different parts of the agreement were scheduled to last between 10 to 25 years, and then they would go back for renegotiation. Now, Iran agreed to relinquish nearly all of its enriched uranium stockpile, which is 97% and 70% of its centrifuges, in which it used to enrich the uranium. It also agreed to stop plutonium production and to dismantle its plutonium reactor. Now, why it wasn't a full relinquishing is the fact that, listen, they might want to make nuclear power plants. You know, as corny as sanctions can be, they're actually pretty powerful. Like, okay, imagine all the shit we going through with the tariffs. What if it was not just, it's going to be expensive to sell here, it's you're not allowed to sell here. If your country gets excommunicated, nigga, do you know where our lumber comes from? Canada. If we was under sanctions, we couldn't get no lumber from Canada. Where would we get our lumber from? Nigga, Yosemite? You can't, like, you gonna chop down our own trees? Like, there is a reality that sanctions can really, really cripple a country. So then when somebody get on the stage and talk about how in some eugenics head ass talk that like these people from these backwoods countries, they can't ever develop, look at they're so poor. Well, nigga, they under sanctions. Like we did that to them. You feel me? Obama like, look, man, you trying to feed your people or what? My nigga, I know like this is a deal. I would rather you have none, but I get it. If you'll agree to not do the bomb version and just maybe you want to do nuclear power, cool. You can't be making these centrifuges. Like, and you got to agree that you're going to let us keep checking in with you, right? Now, of course, with that, it's possible that you could hide stuff here, hide stuff there. So yeah, it's not foolproof. But like, yo, you don't have a way to make this into a bomb. You might figure it out later. You your own people. I understand that. But we got a deal. We got a deal. We got all these other countries that agree. Now, you remember, you see all these countries listed on this. I'm going to read these countries again. China, Russia, France, Germany, United Kingdom. Nigga, we got nukes. So, we got them things. So, fall back. Stay in line. We've all disarmed ours because we know that this isn't a good deal. Like, we've been here. I'm telling you, you don't need this shit. And also, the Ayatollah wild over there. So, that was the agreement. Now, everybody didn't like the agreement here. There was a lot of people that tried to block it, Democrats and Republicans. But as reported all the way back to 2017, that like Iran mostly complied. And then many experts, I'm reading again from PolitiFact, praised the pact for keeping nuclear weapons out of the hands of Tehran. Over 28 months, the deal was in effect, and the International Atomic Energy Agency said it found Iran committed no violations aside from minor infractions. So we got a deal. It was working. But here was the problem. The person that made the deal was not Donald Trump. Not only was the person not Donald Trump, the person had the unmitigated gall to be a black man. And that just can't fly. He a black man, he a Democrat. And the biggest problem if you Donald Trump is that you not Donald Trump. So since you not me, I can't let you have no wins. See, remember we talked about this. This man, the way this man move, which is why I feel like I understand him more than a lot of people do. Anybody, again, if you from the city, you understand a man like this. Everything is zero sum. Everything is like, there's no compromise. Like if you win and I'm losing. So you can't have no W, because that means that I don't have a W. If you ain't first, you're last, my nigga. Like, that's how the man move. So he was like, this mug stupid. Trump announced in 2018 he was pulling out of this deal. He don't like that. Y'all shouldn't be able to have nukes. You shouldn't be able to do any of this. What you mean 97? What's up with that 3%? Nah, fuck that. I need it all. None of it. You can't have none of this. This man Trump said this was a horrible one-sided deal that should have never, ever been made. It didn't bring calm, it didn't bring peace, and it never will. That's his argument. He's like, they still crazy though. I don't understand, like, this didn't do anything. I mean, it did a lot, but what he's trying to say is like, Hezbollah still exists, Hamas still exists, Houthi still exists, nigga, they still throw bombs at Israel all the time. Like, what the fuck? You just gave up your bargaining chips. They won, nigga. Like, well, I don't get it. Was Trump's stance. I'm getting out this shit. We're gonna make a new deal. But man, since I'm the greatest deal maker of all time, I don't know how to turn that into GOAT. That was his attitude about it. Like, nigga, I'm finna fix it. So dropping out again, when Trump became elected, Trump put economic sanctions on Iran over its nuclear program, and Iran reduced its compliance with the deal by stop complying with international inspectors. Let me translate that to you. He said, hey, fuck this deal. I'm bringing the sanctions back until you got nothing. Iran said, oh, fuck this deal? Cool. Fuck this deal then. Then no, you niggas can't come in here and inspect my house. I was only agreeing to the shit. I was only agreeing to this dumbass people coming in here looking at all my business, all up in my business, because we had a deal. If it's fuck the deal, then it's fuck your inspectors, right? Don't that make sense? And Trump was like, oh no, you supposed to let them inspectors come in. It's like, my nigga. For what? You just changed the shit. Why should I keep letting you come? You just changed it. Right? That's Iran's stance. It's like, well, okay, well, listen. We need a new deal, right? So then President Biden tried to come in and say, hey, listen, man, I don't know what just happened for those 4 years. I'm sorry. Let's come back to this, okay? I don't know. I don't know. It was weird, but he gone. And luckily for me, just Joe Biden, I don't have a time machine. So I'm pretty sure we'll never have to deal with this again. It's Joe Biden's stance, right? But Iran was like, you know what, man? I don't trust y'all. And can you blame? Cool, because we don't trust you either. Again, these are not good guys. Like, don't get me wrong about Iran. Them is not good dudes. But, I can't trust y'all. I don't know what the hell. Now, the return of the Mac, the return of Trump, and Trump still saying, I need y'all to come to the table. Iran like, nigga, we had a great deal, bro. You talking about doing nothing. I can't abide by this. Like, bro, like, fam, like, we not even making weapons. But low key, I kind of feel like we should, because y'all, like, we had a deal, cuz, like, now you acted crazy. And Trump, like, basically trying to be a big brother, giving you like a noogie or giving you a Charlie horse, to like, just like twisting your arm, like, say uncle, right? Because that's how he do diplomacy when he not scared of you. Because when he's scared of you, like he is with Vladimir Putin. Oh, he's scared of Putin. So this ain't even a discussion. He's not talking about Putin not having no nukes. He's scared of Putin. Anyway, so he tried to twist the man's arm to be like, you gonna do this or else. Now, here's the problem. If he'd allowed them to have some enriched uranium, they probably would agree to the deal. The only problem is the deal they would have agreed on would have been basically Obama's deal. And you can't do that, because that would be admitting that Obama's deal worked. So you can't do that. So that's what's going on over here in America. Cut the timeline in half. Let's look over at Israel. Israel can't stand Iran. It has not been able to stand Iran since they've been there, because Iran was the group that was basically organizing everybody else when they just got there to be like, nigga, you don't belong here. Like, who are y'all? You left looking like us. You came back Russian. Who are y'all? And why in the hell do you believe you got a right to a location that niggas already live at? Why do you think you different? We were fine. You know what? The people you standing on, I got they back. So they had always been beefing for a really long time. Now, again, Israel is, I would say, as a collective institution, remarkably traumatized based on all of the things we've been through, right? We talked about this in all the You Wasn't Outside episodes, so I ain't got to recap that. You all are aware of the Holocaust. You understand that Israel has gone through some of the worst atrocities known to man. There is no argument against that. So they always feel froggy. They always feel like whenever they not want it, that it might be an extermination. So what they do is, it'd be nice to be the hunter instead of the hunted every once in a while. So that's what they started doing, right? Now, while this is happening, the people for which they stepping on, right, taking out chunks of Lebanon, taking out chunks of Palestine, quarantining people in there, and obviously Iran is watching this. And since Iran is the big homies to everybody that's willing to fight against the nation of Israel, sometimes you just got to go to the source, right? You keep sending your little niggas after us. As Houthis, Hezbollah, those your little niggas. Now, I'm saying that because I'm trying to say it in a derogatory way that Israel would say it. I'm tired of dealing with your little niggas. You saw what we did to Hezbollah. We took that nigga out. You took your leader out. They don't mean shit no more. You see we willing to ethnic cleanse. And not only that, you see my big bro back here? Oh, he with the shits. The big bro is America in this situation. So you know what? I want to go head up with you. I'm trying to catch a fair one with your ass. We need, let's go, nigga, toe to toe, cuz. Tired of you throwing these little pebbles at us. I'm tired of you sending your little niggas. Let's go. Let's deal with this shit now. I feel like, and again, like I said, Israel really in the club feeling himself. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much, they've wiped out Gaza. Let's not, it's rubble, my nigga. They starving. You did it. Congratulations. Committed a Holocaust. But they I still got hunger for smoke. I need to make sure Hamas never comes back. And how I make sure Hamas never comes back is I make sure Iran can't do shit. So they already had a thing. Now the Ayatollah over there in Iran, again, not a good dude. Okay, let me just, can't stress this enough. We have plenty of Iranian friends. We were all part of these protests over homegirl that got jailed over her job not being right. Not good dudes. Okay. That being said, the death of innocent people is the death of innocent people. According to Israel, according to the reasoning from Netanyahu, is the minute that we took out the leader of Hezbollah, that's when they started trying to make a nuke again. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I could follow that one to be like, you know what, man? Oh, that's it, cuz. I could see them being like, you know what? That's it, cuz. America's being unreasonable. You done took out this nigga. You willing to ethnic cleanse your own folk? That's it, cuz. I could see them doing that. We not getting, what's the difference? You done already put the sanctions on. There's nothing to negotiate. What's the difference? What do it matter? All right, nigga, you know what? Square up, cuz. If that's it, nigga, square up, squabble up, homie. Square the fuck up. I'm sorry, I know now my little nephew listens to this show. I apologize for having such potty mouth, but I'm being a character here, okay? I still want you to, my cousin Kiana, I'm sorry, I'm cousin in front of your son. He's 22 years old, though. Anyway, so the chips are on the table right now, right? But the ways for which Israel and America's ideas sort of meet is the part that sounds so bushy. Bushy as in George Bush Jr., okay? If you were born after 9/11, let me help you out here, okay? George Bush Sr. was already in the Middle East over a little country called Kuwait, right? So there was this, in the early 90s, this thing called Operation Desert Shield, which was supposed to stop Saddam Hussein from invading this country called Kuwait, right? A very small country. Kuwait had trillions of gallons of oil. And since Saddam Hussein was like, you're not finna tell me what the fuck to do, he lit the Kuwaiti oil rigs on fire. And it was seen on the news. And at that point, our troops entered into from Desert Shield into Desert Storm. And that's when we first started fighting a man named Saddam Hussein. Now, before that even happened, there was a time in the 80s when, again, the fuckery is insane. When Ronald Reagan was just positive that if any country became left-leaning, they was going to be a communist, they was going to join Russia, and they was going to attack us. So if there was any freedom fighters out there that was willing to fight against the government that was going to become Russian-like, we want to train them. One of them countries was Afghanistan. And who we trained was a man named Osama bin Laden, who formed a group called Al-Qaeda. They were trained by the CIA. So you following me? So this is happening then. Now, 9/11 happens, and we now have a reason, because it was the belief that we never completed the Saddam Hussein move, right? That's already in, that's George Bush's daddy. We never finished that one. Okay. Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda had attacked America, and he's hiding in Afghanistan. So let's go bomb Iraq. Did any of that make sense to you? It didn't make sense to us either. Now, this is what sparked what was called the War on Terrorism. So, which meant that the national border don't matter. We're following wherever terrorism is. That's the war that just ended when you saw Joe Biden remove all the people, the American troops, out of Afghanistan. Like, that's was supposed to be the end of that. And that was also a disaster. But anyway, before we get into that, the question was, okay, we understand going to get Osama bin Laden. I just don't understand why we talk about Saddam Hussein again. Ain't he in Iraq? Yeah. And what does this have to do with nuclear bombs? Because they said they have weapons of mass destruction, and they're not letting us go see where they are. So we need to go over there and see that. Now, while that is happening, that meant that we're going to do something called a regime change, which means we need to, this is all one argument in response to 9/11. So we need to go into Afghanistan, Iraq, take out Saddam Hussein, take out Osama bin Laden, fight all terrorist cells, and stop one of them countries from getting a weapon of mass destruction, because we saw that they had it. We saw from plain aerial footage that they had this yellow cake that they put on the screen and said they got weapons. So we need to go over there and we need to destroy them. Now, here's the thing. Iraq ain't had no nukes. Okay? None of the shit panned out. And when you do a regime change, you have to rebuild a government. And that's what we tried to do in Afghanistan. And when we tried to do that, do you remember what happened a few years ago when we left? The Taliban took the fuck back over. So did the shit work? Is it not hundreds of Gen Xers and millennials absolutely destroyed from PTSD? See, this is why I don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say in my comment section if you ain't never had to talk nobody down from taking the gun from their temple. You don't see the inside of an infant and come back okay. Fighting a war that ain't have shit to do with you. Were you protecting the homeland? Maybe. Was you over there getting that oil? Absolutely. What the fuck you know about building a government? That's what we said we was gonna do. So, when these men get on our cameras and they say they about to get a nuke, and the Iranian regime wants to assassinate our president. So we have to go over there and do regime change. And they don't have a nuke yet, and they weak, and we powerful. So they powerful and weak. We there for the nukes only, and we there only to take out the regime. And this is actually Israel's war. And we're not doing the war on terror. And, Orange Man, you want to be the president of peace. You literally said no new wars. My nigga, the math is just not mathing. This the deja vu that I mean by this is sounding bushy. That's what I mean by that. So, but we went in there, we blew up the nuclear things, and Trump's argument is we really just there. This was just, I'm a backhand pop you in the mouth just so you'll come back to the negotiation table. This really ain't our war. I told y'all I don't want to go to war, so we're not going to go to war. And remember I told y'all J.D. Vance's job? J.D. Vance's job is to make this outlandish stuff seem not that outlandish, right? So he got up on the camera on Sunday and was like, listen, dude, we all campaigned that we do not want to see another 25-year war, which is why we just took these things out and went home. My nigga, that's what you did was an act of war. Now, what I haven't got to yet was the fact that neither of you asked Congress. You have to ask Congress. But remember what I told y'all to fear the most is this nigga don't believe in institutions. He do what the hell he want. And his power comes from the fact that he is in power. This is how autocrats work. This is how it works. It's you are in power, therefore you are right. Your rightness comes from the fact that you are in power. So if you are in power, it's impossible to be wrong because the fact that you are powerful makes your decisions correct. That's the view. That's why you can't question what the man say. That's the divine mandate, if you will. God puts kings on the throne. Is the stance. So that's the deja vu all over again. It makes me feel the way anybody else that was alive feels, which is, nigga, no one asked for this. I hate that I have a water bottle. I ain't asked. Now I'm responsible for this water bottle. Because guess what? You gonna send Donald Trump Jr. over there? We're not sending troops. Oh, you not sending troops? You not gonna send troops? Cuz give me 3 reasons. Give me a reason and a half. Give me a half a reason to trust you. You ain't even tell us you was gonna bomb the place. And I can't stress enough. It's not even our business. Now, if you, Iran, do you come back to the table? Or do you say, oh, nigga, it's up. I'm taking all the fades. And this is when the beauty of social media jumped in. Even Ray Vaughn was like, see, that's the problem with you, Trump. You play too much. You always playing. Ain't nobody playing but you. Now we gonna get the smoke. Iran, let me draw you a map. Hey, gang. What's up, twin? Now, I don't appreciate you talking reckless to all of us, but you got to understand, everybody that's not on the visual version of this, I'm pointing at the black hand side. We did not bomb you. You know the little part on the east that stick out, kind of look like a foot? He lit air. So if you going to do your asymmetrical warfare, because listen, the reality is everybody knows it's not even funny. Iran can't go head up with us. Neither could Iraq. You can't go head up. Nor could you could go head up with Israel because eventually their Iron Dome an Iron Dome isn't really like a force field. You're shooting rockets to hit rockets in the sky. You gonna run out. So you might be able to go head up with them. You couldn't go head up with us. It is impossible for you to fight us both. So Iran gonna have to make a decision. And the decision they gonna make is one that anyone would do, like if I had to square up with somebody twice my size. Asymmetrical. I'm not finna square up with you. Crazy? Hell no. I bite a knee. I kidnap your daughter, my nigga. Like, I'm not going to just fight you. Because I can't. But I'm gonna talk my talk. And that's what Iran's doing. They talk and they talk. I don't know what is gonna happen. I just mourn the idea that kids who went through a pandemic may have to go to the Middle East. Sucks, man. Wouldn't it be great to live in precedented times? And then if we do this, are we gonna like? Can we like? Are we have to rebuild Iran? Like, or what? And my dude, did you think about where the radioactive waste was gonna go after you blew it up? Think about that. You think about the fact that your own intelligence told you that they wasn't making nukes. You believe in Israel's over ours? That was you just hot in the pants anyway? Is this regime change? Is it nukes? What you gonna send Ivanka? Are we really, is this really another deja vu? Because I'm a little busy defending my neighbors from having the same army that you're trying to send there. They in LA right now. Ooh, baby, what is you doing? I hate waking up and there's a war on my chair. Like, now I'm responsible for this war. Hood politics, y'all. Ooh, baby, what is you doing? 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 It's almost as if Trump got a camera in my studio and knew I hit stop. Because this man done announced the ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Now, my favorite part about this, because this is Monday evening, things might change by the time you see this, but Iran was like, what? Neither Israel or Iran has confirmed any sort of ceasefire. This nigga just said, see, it was like, okay, they gonna stop fighting. It was almost like he was just letting Iran get their lick back. I'm just gonna let y'all get y'all lick back, and then I'm gonna call a ceasefire. Nigga, you not even Iran. And then Iran came out and was like, what? Ceasefire? I mean, I'll stop if they stop. But no, we ain't agreed to shit. The man John Dickerson, not the homie, I ain't never met this man, but he's on CBS. He's on a show I highly recommend, Political Gabfest. He gave this analogy that I'm like, nigga, bars. He said, Trump like governs by echolocation. And what he means by that is like, I'm just gonna put it out and see where it pings. And whatever pings as like works, that's what we gonna do. As if that was his idea the whole time. Because y'all may or may not remember, it was bruh's idea when he thought he was gonna win Atlanta to turn Juneteenth into a national holiday. That he said he wanted to do that. And then, like, word, that's what you wanted to do? Yeah, gone. That's because he threw it out there when it was going to work for him. I just try to figure out people call it leading from behind. Like, where's everybody going? And then you just, like, so clearly this war is very unpopular. So he was like, we did it. Ceasefire, it worked. This nigga is so desperate for a win. Now, I'm not gonna keep chasing these headlines. Listen, I recorded this on Monday. Things might be different by the time you see it. All right, now, hood politics with Prop. Now I have to fix our shower. All right, now don't you hit stop on this pod. You better listen to these credits. I need you to finish this thing so I can get the download numbers, okay? So don't stop it yet. But listen, this was recorded in East Los Boyle Heights by your boy Propaganda. Tap in with me at prophiphop.com. If you're into cold brew coffee, we got Terraform Cold Brew. You can go there.com and use promo code HOOD, get 20% off, get yourself some coffee. This was mixed, edited, and mastered by your boy Matt Osowski, killing the beat softly. Check out his website, mattosowski.com. I'm gonna spell it for you because I know. MATTOSOWSKI.com, matosowski.com. He got more music and stuff like that on there, so go and check out the heat. Hood Politics is a member of Cool Zone Media, executive produced by Sophie Lichterman, part of the iHeartMedia Podcast Network. Your theme music and scoring is also by the one and only Matt Osowski, still killing the beat softly. So listen, don't let nobody lie to you. If you understand urban living, you understand politics. These people is not smarter than you. We'll see y'all next week.